Cannot return results from stored procedure using Python cursor. For some odd reason I can't get results from a callprop call in a Python test app. The stored procedure in NQSQL the 5th of February 1947 looks like this. Now, using PyCharm with Python 3.3, I can't seem to retrieve anything when calling this stored procedure. This code gets me the desired results. But this code with either cursor.fetchAll or cursor.fetchOwn. Returns MySQL.connector.errors.interface error, no results set to fetch from. There's an additional odd behavior using the cursor.execute method like so. Because it yields MySQL.connector.errors.interface error, use cmd_query_eta for statements with multiple queries followed by MySQL.connector.errors.interface error, use multi equals true and executing multiple statements despite the fact that I'm only returning one query result rather than multiple result sets. Is the MySQL Python connector treating the execute call on the stored procedure as a double query? How can I just call the stored procedure and get my results back? I really don't want dynamic SQL in my code. Thanks ahead for any advice.
Have you tried picking one of the result sets? It could be that it's allocating for multiple result sets even though you only have one selected STMT. I know in PHP's miscly stored procedures do this to allow for in-out and out variable returns, which again, you have none of, but maybe it's allocating anyways. The complete code I'm using, which is working, is
getting the result of a stored procedure after calling cursor.callproc depends on these factors. Whether the result of calling the procedure is assigned to an in-out or out parameter, whether the result consists of a single row or a result set, or result sets, the Python package used to make the call. The DBAPI spec has this to say on cursor.callproc. Call a stored database procedure with the given name. The sequence of parameters must contain one entry for each argument that the procedure expects. The result of the call is returned as modified copy of the input sequence. Input parameters are left untouched, output and input/output parameters replaced with possibly new values. The procedure may also provide a result set as output. This must then be made available through the standard fetch methods. In practice, using the return value of cursor.callproc can only work if the procedure returns a single row, with the number of columns matching the number of in-out and out parameters, so there is some variation in how the results are handled. Here is how these cases are handled by the principal MySQL Python connector packages: MySQL Connector, MySQL Client, MySQL, and MySQL. Single row result, returned via in-out or out parameters. MySQL Connector returns a modified copy of the input sequence as the return value of cursor.callproc. the value is a tuple. MySQL client and PyMySQL require that the database is queried for the output parameters, and the results then fetched via the cursor. The value is a tuple of tuples. The parameter names to be queried are of the form @_procedure_name_params.index_param. One or more rows in a single result set, no in-out or out parameters defined. MySQL connector exposes the result via the cursor stored_results method. Cursor.stored_results is not part of the DAPI spec. MySQL client and PyMySQL expose the result via the cursor's fetch methods. Multiple result sets, no in-out or out parameters defined. MySQL connector exposes the result via the cursor stored_results method. MySQL client and PyMySQL require that each result set be fetched via the cursor, while calling cursor.nextSet to advance to the next result set. Note that an extra, empty result set may be returned, a result of calling the procedure. This would also happen in the previous examples, if the result set were retrieved via cursor.nextSet, instead of only calling cursor.fetchAll once. Version info.
Why not try it this way?
If you want to see more, please subscribe.